Hey guys, I'm Rob Bass, and the guy next to me is Jeremy DeWitt. You might recognize his face if you're part of the TMNT for Life group, which is a Facebook group dedicated to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's why we decided to do a Teenage Mutant Turtles podcast, and this one's called Booyakasha, because, why not?
Why not?
I already asked you before we started recording, so let's just ask you again. How are you feeling this morning, my friend?
I am feeling tip-top. Feeling pretty good.
That's good to know, especially like early in this morning. Oh my God. But I guess the best way is we wanted to start this on the first episode. Basically, let's talk about our love of the Turtles. Maybe we'll bring up some news and facts. And I don't want to talk about the cartoon show, the new one, just yet, just because if people haven't seen episodes, we don't want to start spoiling crap. So we'll wait. And then we'll get into older episodes instead of talking about, spoilers and stuff. I hate when people spoil episodes right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want people to watch this. I don't want them to be pissed off that we already ruined the whole show. Yep. Shredder dies. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So, all right. So basically, I've known the Turtles since about '86, before the cartoon show, because I got into comic books in 1886, and at that point in time, the Turtles were huge. You go to a local candy store and you pick up comic books, and there's some jerk who's older going, "You're reading that kiddie stuff? You should be reading the Turtles." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? What Turtles?" So I ended up going to a comic book store, and then I got my first reprint of the first couple of issues, and that was like in '86, '87, and that's when I first saw Turtles, and then the cartoon show happened. So how did you find the Turtles?
I was introduced like most kids were back then. I found the toys and then the cartoon. I was a little bit late to the cartoon, but only I think I just found the first season on video before the second season maybe even started. My timeline might be a little screwed up, but yeah, I remember seeing the Donatello figure. Like back then in elementary school, if you for Christmas and stuff, you would bring like a toy for a boy if you were a boy, or a toy for a girl if you were a girl.
Like
so
that Secret Santa thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I remember one of my buddies got the Donatello figure, and I'm like, what is that? Like, that is really cool looking, So basically that, and then, the cartoon, and then, of course, slowly started getting into other things and jumping back to the comics and all that stuff, so.
Well, I think what really got me with the Turtles first out was, when they first came around, is for the toys anyway, was how much the parallels between them and the Masters of the Universe were. Like,
yes.
I mean, Playmates said, what really works really well? They made $4 billion just last year or so, giving them craps and variants and vehicles and playsets. And Turtles did not play games. They gave you everything. I also felt that they utilized the articulation because they all had that basic 5 points. And I think that they did it in a different way. Because He-Man, of course, was always like that, like this. And they did start doing action features. But with the Turtles, they had feet that were kind of pose ready to strike. They weren't just like, here I am standing here, because Remco was doing it, Mattel was doing it. Everyone kind of had that static,
just that static pose. Yeah.
I mean, the Turtles also had the arm. They also had the ability to turn at the elbow joint, which was something we never saw before at that time. They had grimaces on their face, they looked like they should be smoking like a cork-cob pipe out the side of their mouth. It was something very different. And if you look at just the figure line, just in total, like the first couple figures, and when you got the Shredder, he was like in a pose. He was like posing like to fight. He wasn't like I said, static. These are characters that when you see them in the packaging, they look like they're ready to like, what does this toy do? You know what he does. He's going to fight. And
he's ready to go.
And the fact that they came with so many weapons, I mean, that was really some of the really cool stuff. I mean, the 80s aren't known for having very sculpted, detailed weaponry. The Turtles had great sculpts, no paint apps. I mean, the Turtles' weapons had such great paint apps. No paint apps, but I mean great sculpts. You could look at any toy line and you could see all this sculpted detail that was never painted.
Yep. And there's tons of stuff like that. Yeah, I know. You see people do like repaints of those now, and you're like, oh my, I didn't even notice that. You get
I didn't know that was there. Yeah, like Muckman, especially Muckman or the Rat King and stuff like that. They had such tatted clothes, and then underneath there was like bandages on the clothes, and you saw all this crazy detail that was sculpted on, never painted, and it just drives you crazy. Of course, I got the cat. I got my cat jumping there. Like, get out of here. She's not one to say, not me. But at the same time, like, so sometimes I think that made me mad was as cool as an action pose is that it made it hard to display. You know, you can't really set up your turtles because they got that one kind of. Can you get them into one pose? It's kind of like, all right, they have stay. I think we always use all the weapons to balance it out. We became like engineers when we came to turtles.
Exactly, yeah. But still, to this day, good luck with Chrome Dome, man. Chrome Dome was terrible. Yeah. My current display, I have a bunch of like poster putty under their feet to kind of keep them still, and Chrome Dome still. I'll walk in there and he's knocked right over.
That's just really good. You know what? I wish some like third party guy could actually make like action figure stands for the turtles just directly, like a
that
3D
would be cool.
printer, like Shapeways guys, like, you know, they make weapons and stuff, but no one's making like stuff that's necessary, like display stands. You know, the turtles have all different things, so you need like a clip-on thing, but like how Figma does it, but something else where I think would really be utilizing the turtle scope because they're all different size figures. So I think
absolutely,
and then
something like that would be really cool.
And if they're smart, make the base like a turtle shell or a manhole cover. That way you can
manhole cover.
Without having to put the Turtles logo, you can kind of get that. All right, I get what this is for. And third party, that'd be cool. Speaking of third party, let's talk about that. Have you seen the new Shredder, the third party Shredder figure?
I just saw that. Yes, I did.
Freaking sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. I haven't been able to get the Krang one yet, and I'm like looking at that too, and I'm just like, oh, if I do this, I'm just gonna be broke.
It's like, you know what, I'm just going for it. Just jump head in and say, you know what, you know it's gonna be it also has the lights in it. The Krang body has the light for the Krang. Yeah. It's like, you know what, if you want to think about it this way, just give up on like other stuff, sell that stuff, and buy the Krang. Like I always look to get the perfect version of my figures. Like over the years, like with the Master Universe, when the classic came out, I don't want the original Skeletor from as a kid because now I got the perfect Skeletor figure. I don't want to keep going. Sure. It's cool you have your childhood, but I think as a collector, you want to have that perfect representation. And sometimes a perfect representation of third parties. And that Krang, when I saw that, that was almost like with my wallet. And it's like, yes. And my wife's like, you know, we have bills. It's like, right, bills. So do we need electricity this month?
Exactly, yeah. Do I need electricity this month or this really sweet Krang figure?
Yeah, you know what the worst part is?
Sometimes you gotta...
It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, well, you know, the figure has a light in it. We don't really need the electricity. You can probably get a generator from like JCPenney's or something. Just survive. We could be off the grid for a month, and then I'd probably end up murdering. I'd be like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, running around the house. Yeah, with the Krang figure and the axe. It's like, he's got a light.
Yeah. Who needs electricity when you have sweet toys, right?
I keep trying to convince myself that, but now you're a dad. I'm a dad, so it's kind of like those things. It's like we can't think like that. Before I had my daughter,
I could give me like 15 years ago, and I would have been just fine. But
15 years ago, oh my God,
Daddy.
15 years ago, when the car robots were coming out in Japan, which was before they had the robots and Guys Transformers. Toy Fair had a cover that said "Toys You'll Never Own," and they had Optimus Prime as the fire truck on the cover. I went, screw you, and I went to like an import store, and I paid a ridiculous amount of money for the whole entire car robots line, only for Hasbro to bring it the next year to America. And like $15 a pop, and because it was hard because they were import stores. I was going to different stores in New York. I was going online, and this is when online was like, you know, JPEGs were about that big, and like, you know, it's like. So I was looking. I got because my Optimus Prime. If you put the batteries in the fire truck, he actually says like, you know, in Japanese. So I was like, all right, it's cool. I got the Japanese one. Then the American ones came out. I'm like, it's the exact same toy, and I spent hundreds. And now that they're released, Hasbro released them. Now you can't like say, hey, this is the Japanese one. I'll sell them because no one wants to buy it because they already have it. So that's what they drive me crazy.
That's good. It's kind of the curse of being a collector because you want that like immediacy. Like I have to get that right now because if I don't, it's probably never going to be available, or if it is, it's going to be super expensive.
But then you have the problem when you skip it, and then it becomes the hardest thing to find. You know, you have that thing like, you know what, I don't need it. Oh, this guy has an eBay for really cheap. Do I want it? It's like, no, I don't need it that bad.
Yep.
That happened with me with certain things, and then all of a sudden later on, it's like now I'm paying more because now it's nowhere to be found because I waited too long, and that one guy knows he's got it, and he keeps posting. No one wants to buy it, so they try like make an offer.
Right.
Kind of like make an offer. Come on, jerk! I'll give you $5. He's like, no, I'll buy 150. Are you crazy? But that happens, you know. And the worst part is now, as collectors go, now with the Turtles having, because of the new cartoon show, the movie, and of course the Heroes and a Half show are going to have their own cartoon show. We have this thing where I think the fans are going to find that people are going to be scumming you for your vintage Turtles, and you have to watch out because they had just like how the Turtles comic book was reprinted like 100 times before they actually had. The Turtles toys did the same thing, like the hard head, soft head, round head, big head, knockoff head. This head. Like there was the 4 Turtles alone have more variants in the first year or two than I think most any other toys, and it's hard to seriously tell them apart because the date is still going to be the original date because the buck body mold is still going to be the same. It's just a reissue. The only way how you're going to know is like mostly with the head sculpt or a paint deviation. And that's the worst. I think someone on the Facebook group was talking last night about what's the difference with the for He-Man figure collectors.
Well, thanks.
It's surprisingly interesting for He-Man figure collectors. Thank you very much. So what ends up happening is that the Slash figure they were talking about today, last night, about the belt is the real variant difference. There's like 4 or 5 different variants of the belt. And that drives me crazy as a collector. That is hurtful. Like, how do you know? If you're not really, if you're just a collector who just likes what you like, and you're not serious, like, it's hard to be a diehard of everything. You kind of have to pick your direction to go. And that's the problem when you have a toy line that keeps reissuing, and then you don't know short pack from long pack. And then it was I think even like from the Turtles weapons were repacked differently, and then that makes them either rare or not rare. And then you have
one I could think of is who's that, Genghis or something, or Napoleon?
The Bonafrog?
He had the like the grenades in like a little sealed package inside, and that's like the rare one, and these are all things like I've learned through the group.
There's things like I don't know. Like I remember every figure, and like when I started learning more about the rare figures when Sween Holic was doing all his turtle reviews, the Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk, and he was doing the Radical Retro Turtle Toy Review, and he was bringing up figures that I thought I had everything growing up, and then you find out there was a giraffe, and then there was the cat crook, and you're like, when the hell did this?
Exactly. Yeah, I never knew about
because that was in 94. They came in 94, 95. By that time, for me, I'm going to be 30. I'm going to be 38 on Halloween, so I'm way.
I just turned 36.
So, you're 2 years. You're just about you're just under me,
Yeah, I was just starting to discover, girls and partying and guitar and stuff.
94, I met my wife. We were 16 years old. We were 16 years old. We started dating in 94, and I got into The Crow. I was into comics, and I was really going more that way. So, like, the Turtles toys had already run their course, and now Toy Biz was starting to make better toys. Kenner, in only 2 years' time, would bring back the powers of the 4 Star Wars figures. So it was like, I was at that time, I was like, all right, well, now I'm 16, I'm working. What am I going to spend my money on? So do I keep going with the same turtle figures, or do I go somewhere else? And then, there's always something cooler. The Beast Wars had come out around that time. And there were so many different things that you couldn't keep everything. And being a comic book head, the comic book company started making these, like, exclusive, really crappily made action figures of, like, Lady Death and, like, some half-naked broad. And like you said, being a teenager with hormones, girls. And so it's like,
Yeah.
So like you watch the Turtles, you know about it. Like I knew the existence of Venus and Milo. I seen the live action Saban stuff, and you see all those things. But at the same time, it's like your age shows where you are. Like when He-Man died out, the Turtles picked up that void for me because, like I said, that same kind of they filled up that same spot. Except also they were in New York, and being an idiot from New York, it's an actual tour line from New York City.
Yeah. See, lucky because I'm in Michigan, so we'd always just like maybe someday the Turtles will come to our sewers and stuff
because they're all connected. It's like...
Yeah, right. Exactly. They tunnel through the
But
entire
here's the best
world.
part about the Turtles cartoon is like, Ninja Pizza Store, and you're like, Ninja Pizza Store, like, I don't think that's not Joey's Pizza around the corner. It's like Ninja. I love how they always like just beat the fact that, you know what, this they break the fourth wall. The original cartoon show broke the fourth wall in all four.
So many times.
Like, when you're looking around, like, they're just wearing a trench coat. Even like no one believed when Ben Grimm did that. Like, he's wearing a trench coat and a hat and glasses. He's walking around with big orange feet. Hey, he's perfectly normal. No, when the live action movie did that with Raph, you could still see, like, they made a reference to that.
Looked like a big turtle in a trench
exactly.
coat.
They didn't play off like, oh, it's some guy. It's a fat guy. It's like, no, it's completely not. He's got 3 toes. And, that's what's really, really, like, I love about the fandom. Like, as we go along, I think the only toy line or a property franchise, honestly, that has ever translated right all the time, no matter what they've done to it, is the Turtles. Fans came to see, because if you think of the Masters, then you think about the new Adventures of He-Man, and people are like, oh, no, we don't want to talk about that.
Exactly.
We had from the cartoon show from the 80s and the comics, even the Archie stuff, and then the Mirage stuff that was still existing. And then even when Image, Eric Larson, picked up the Turtles, there was still the Turtles. Like I was talking to my wife about this earlier. No matter what variation we go through with the Turtles, even to this day, they've never screwed with who they are fundamentally. They may screw up with like Splinter's origin, because it's either he was a rat or he was a human first. But other than that, he's still Splinter. Shredder is still Shredder. I think the only time they ever deviated with Shredder was when, in the 2000X cartoon show, he was like the little Krang head. They kind of combined Krang and Shredder as one deity.
Right, he had the Utron in the guts or whatever.
Whatever they did with that. But before I did that, he was still Shredder. So like that was the whole point. Like every variation, they've kept you the same. The only thing they've done now with the Turtles, which is really cool in the cartoon show, is that everyone's a teenager. That's something we never thought about. April was a news reporter. Okay. Well, I like the idea that they took the best parts and said, well, why would an adult hang out with a teenage turtle?
Right. Exactly. That was something you never really questioned back in the day, and maybe it was because the fact that they were teenagers wasn't really conveyed very well, other than in
the title. Yeah,
I mean, right? And maybe they said like "dude" and stuff like that, but I mean, come on, I still say "dude." I'm, 36, but definitely, it's quite an interesting take on it, and I enjoy it a lot, and obviously kids are enjoying it a lot, so it's really good that it's still going, and it's a completely brand new thing, and yet they're borrowing from all the best parts of the past, and I mean, how do you go? You can't go wrong.
That was why when Bay showed up to do the movie, and you're like, oh no, what are you doing? Wait, we're doing good. Like, did you not see the sales numbers? Like, we're doing good.
Right. Like, Michael Bay, you stop it.
It's like, sit down, stop, get the water bottle, spray some in the face. Like, Michael Bay, stop it. I think that there's actually on Cinefix is a YouTube channel, and they have they do 7 facts you may not know about the Turtles. They do 7 facts about whatever, but there's a cartoon show along that line, and they did Michael Bay's Turtles, where the animators made Michael Bay come into a pipe that had crap in it. He shows up to the Turtles' lair. It's like the vintage Turtles. And he hands them the script. It's got aliens crossed out. It's got Ninja Turtles crossed out. There's his Teenage Mutant Turtles. They hand him the script, and they're like, ugh. And Michael Bay goes, he's got all money. And they're like, yeah.
I have seen that.
You guys are listening when you watch this. Go look on YouTube for it. It's hysterical. And there's no actual real dialogue. It's like, man. Like, it's...
Right.
It's so funny. The part went on the green screen, but they're green, and they just have the masks. He's like, all right, put them in suits, and then put them in suits, and then of course he jacks them up to make them all mutated. I think that's when people who defend the movie, defend the movie due to the fact that they got a live action Turtles movie, and fundamentally the Turtles were the Turtles in the movie. That's Ricky, Raph, but that's when it stops. I guys, if you haven't seen the movie now, I'm not. We're gonna spoil this a little bit. I gotta talk about this. This is our first episode. We're kind of randomly throwing stuff out. We'll get a little more structure later on. But I wanted to talk about the Turtle movie because I only saw it recently, and the reason why I only saw it recently is because I'm not stupid. I will not watch that. And I only watched the last 30 minutes, and I didn't even need to watch the whole movie because, really, if you look at the last 30 minutes, everything you need to know before was already explained in the last 30 minutes. And
Pretty much,
didn't care why Splinter wasn't there because it didn't mean nothing to the story. And then you're watching the movie, and you watch, like, why is Will Arnett in it? Like, why was he served no purpose? But Michael Bay does that all the time. And the movie he does, he puts people in the movie for, like, comic relief or makes them supposed to be important, but they don't really serve a purpose. You can get through a movie without certain characters.
Well, and he was supposed to be, I guess, the comic relief, but he really fell flat, which kind of sucks because I like him. But the role that he was put in was just kind of like, it just really didn't work out. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it was nice to get the name Vern Fenwick in the movie.
It was. He also got paid, so he didn't care. My whole point, if you watch the last fight scene at the end, they fought for no reason because no matter what they were trying to stop was still going to happen to a degree. Like, they basically just Michael Bay'd it just to explode stuff and knock stuff over. And why didn't Megan Fox die like 7 times in that movie? Like, throughout the ending, she should have been dead multiple times.
Of course.
Also, like, it's the duck lips. The duck lips. Her duck lips drive me crazy.
There's a lot of things with lips in that movie. Mikey's lips. And It's
like, oh my god.
Yeah, her eyes didn't convey emotion.
That's not what she's there for.
Yeah, absolutely. That was made quite clear at times. But I went into that movie basically saying because I heard a rumor before it came out that the Turtles were going to be humans first, who then got changed in whatever the lab that they're working in, they turned into turtles, and I was freaking out. I think it was probably like an April Fool's joke or something, but I read it and I'm like,
I read one of the first drafts I'm like, online. So I read when they were actually space alien ones, like that whole space thing. I actually read that.
Colonel Schrader and there was some bad stuff, but I guess what we got. I'm on kind of the other side where I did enjoy the movie for what it was. Do I have issues with it? Oh yes, there's a lot of issues, but in my head I try to be like, well, that could be fixed in the next movie so long as they do this, or so long as they do this. It's, I don't know. I mean, they definitely they got the personalities across. I did kind of dig that. I think Mikey was a little bit too perverted, maybe.
Yeah, Mikey's always been the more innocent character. But
well, innocent, right? But in this, like he said, you said you saw like what the last
3 minutes. I saw, like he was all over. Like he was, like, yeah.
Well, he came in. The very first thing he says is when he sees her, "Oh, she's hot. Oh, I can feel my shell tightening." And you're like, "Oh, like my daughter's sitting next to me. Like I know she doesn't get it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like." She likes turtles a lot right now, and I think a lot of the people in the audience are kids, and they all like turtle, and they're hearing this. Like,
it's 2014 at the time when the movie came out, so people are like, "Yeah, screw it. The kids don't know the turtles get hard on. What are we supposed to do for you?" It's like,
yeah, I guess.
Like, I've seen National Geographic. I've seen what turtles do when they have sex. It's creepy as hell. And it's slowly and weird, and they make weird noises. So Mikey, no.
Tell me you've seen the YouTube video about that. Like, there's like an actual like Ninja Turtles, like if they were real.
Yeah, that was another channel. That's another famous channel that does that too.
Yeah,
but it's
pretty rough.
What bothered me about the Turtles was the voices. I felt that the voice actors just felt like placeholders. I didn't feel that they were exactly as good as they could have been. That's the problem. Like the leader,
right?
You got Leo, you got Raph, you got Donnie, and you have Mikey. And none of them really felt like they were delivering the lines that you would expect from them, but it just didn't feel like that was like those were going to be voice actors. And I felt like an afterthought, or it gave up.
Surprisingly enough, I think the only one that really sounded good to me was probably Leonardo, and that was Johnny Knoxville, which is weird. But like I mean Donatello. Yeah, I get Donatello's supposed to be nerdy. I do get that, but I mean,
Michael Bay.
He snorts.
Michael Bay went straight up. Let's be as inappropriately as I always am, because every movie Michael Bay makes is a racist reference to somebody. He undignifies everybody. He has no and everyone's like, oh, it's hysterical. It's like, no, you just proven how messed up people are in real life because you're not supposed to. Like, you don't need that. I mean, yeah, Donnie could be smart without being that way. Because, like, in the original Turtles live action movies, they didn't do that. Donnie would talk all his jibber jabber, but, that was what he did. But he was still, they just didn't feel that way. The outfits bothered me too.
Well, yeah. That's another thing that I'm torn on. It was a little bit too much. I understand the whole thought process of, they're teenagers, they found stuff in the sewer, maybe they're kind of hip to, seeing pop culture, they're seeing people, and there's a scene where they're even younger and they're looking out and they see like a Gwen Stefani video and they're dancing to it and stuff, and it's like, I can kind of see where they would be like, oh, cool, I want to be cool too and wear this or whatever, but it's like, it was just kind of thrown together. Like, how can we, make them look weird and just, it was a little bit too much.
They reminded me of the Rippers from Tank Girl. Have you ever seen Tank Girl?
Oh, I haven't seen Tank Girl. I haven't.
Watch it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's bad. It's not good. It's the best you're going to get for a comic book a movie representation of the comic. But, they're kangaroos that are people, right? Because they're mutated beings. And they look just like the turtles. If you took you took the Rippers from Tank Girl and you take Shrek and mash them together, that's basically what you have. And that's what the designs look like from the clothing, because the Rippers would have like clothes that they find. So they all kind of had hodgepodge clothes because they're characters of the shadow at the time. Like, they're dark in the background and they're feared. So they can't go to like a store and buy clothes. So they put the humanoid beings. They're mutated beings, the Rippers. So that's what the Turtles look like to me. And I felt like, they're also supposed to be Ninja Turtles. Every time they landed, they sounded like the Tick. They would thud and
and crack the ground.
I'm sorry, that's not very ninja-like. What happened to ninja stealth? And then at the end, when they after they save the day, and the two of them become shells on the girl's boob, like. No one's gonna see these giant monsters jumping. Oh, it stopped moving. Like, the turtles have the same thought process a water bug has when you turn a light on. The water bug gonna be like, you turn on and stop it.
If you sit still, you can't see it.
It's no thought process, and that drives me crazy. And it's like, no, you don't do those things. But. There's things that they have to do. They have to destroy vehicles. He has to blow things up. They had the same. I swear it was the same forest that Optimus Prime got jacked up in. It's like I'm watching on. Did he just recycle the same background? It's like,
there was a lot bad with it, but I went into it very open-minded.
You had no expectations, so it's different when you had,
Look, as soon as I found out, because I had a buddy from the group. He had seen like an early release of it, and I said, all I got to know is, are they humans first? And he said, no. I went, I'm in. So we have like this Thursday night movie night at my house all the time. I got me and a couple buddies, and we'll catch up on maybe 80s movies or whatever we haven't seen, or if there's a new cool movie coming out, we'll go out and see it. So we all went and we saw Turtles, and I mean, I laughed. I wholeheartedly laughed a few times. I think the elevator scene where they're doing the beatboxing and I mean, that really captured what the Turtles are. And it was nice to, even seeing like Leonardo chime in and stuff, it was like kind of cool, and Raph, he's all like big and he's like, boom, 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 like getting into it,
Because you have to think about the characters. It's probably the first time they probably made an elevator. Like, so, you think about how the movie
exactly.
was too. Like, those are different. So it's cute, they just they had nothing to do with it. That's what I love about the Turtles, that they're fun-loving characters. They're brothers too, so they probably have in-jokes that people wouldn't know. So that's what you have to put in. You have to convey that with these characters. They are real brothers, and you got Splinter's their dad. People need to realize that. It's hard. A lot of people who don't get the Turtles don't get the fact that that's a family you're watching. Like, you're actually watching like a closer family net than the Fantastic Four are, if you think about it.
Right. It's not just like four people who
Yeah.
met up and got together and they're really close friends. It's like, no, dude, I know everything about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, they grow up and
We grew up
your
together.
family, and that's what makes that bond special. And I feel that that's the reason why the new show really helps the fans get to see that. They have distinct personalities, but they
Absolutely.
have so much to offer each other. I like that a lot. I think they really do a good job with that. I think it's really done well. I said even the movie had those elements. Like even it
Right.
wasn't like completely like taken away like what Michael Bay would normally do. That's why I loved about it is like he might have done explosions, big stupid special effects, but at the core, the four of them are still brothers and they're still there for each other. That's a
Yes.
necessity. It was in the comic books. It was in the live action movie, especially the whole thing that he also did in the new cartoon when in the original was I think Leo got hurt and there was Raph got hurt or Raph. They said it was Raph originally, then Leo,
Yep.
and how they doted over them. And how April was writing in her journal. That's right from the original comic. That was in the
Yep.
they put that into the movie, and that's really cool. Like that moment, like of solitude, that they only are there for each other. Now they're screwed. Everything they know got turned upside down, and that happened fast.
Right.
And that's important because you know what? I don't think people understand like why people are weighted by superhero teams, and that's the reason why the Avengers did such a good job. Is that you can't just throw people together and expect it to work out fine. You watch the G.I. Joe cartoon show, not everyone liked each other, Like, who
Right.
didn't want to punch
Yep.
Roadblock in the face every time he was rhyming? Like, that's the military, they're trained. But if you're not trained military, how do you keep a group of dysfunctional beings together unless they're family? And the Turtles can handle that because they are family. And that's why those elements work. When they're down at the lowest point, you can believe the Turtles more. As funny as that sounds, for mutated Turtles, you can believe more because they exist as a family unit. And people understand that. You know what? When it comes to say, you got who you have. And most of the time, it's going to be your family. They'll be close friends. They call family. But sometimes even they may not be able to answer the phone for you. That
Exactly.
could be one of those moments like that. And those characters in the new cartoon show really show that. And of course, they're going to fight with each other a lot because that's what you do with your family. You fight. As simple as a concept as the Turtles are, it has every fundamental you need. I think that's why it appeals across the board.
Well, right, and I don't know if you have any siblings or anything, but I mean, I grew up with my younger. Right, exactly. I grew up with my younger brother, and our experiences definitely were conveyed through the different iterations of the Turtles. You have your little bickering, you have your all-out fighting. Your Leo and Raph going toe to toe, and but you also have your in jokes and you're laughing and and no matter how much you're angry at them, if someone messes with your brother or your sister, you're gonna back them up.
That's the famous line. It's like that famous joke
when
when someone else says something bad about someone. You're mad at your sister or your brother, and you say something, and I go, "Yeah, but no, you don't get to say it. I get to say it."
Right. I get to say it. You don't.
That's a very good point. I have a brother and sister, but for me, it's a little different. My brother's almost 10 years older. My sister's almost 7 years older than me. So there was actually never really. Well, my sister fought me because my sister was a teenager, so she was batty as a loon when she was like she was a popular metalhead girl. She was like that 80s with the hair. She looked like Cyndi Lauper. She was really short, and she had like the Peanuts mouth that was like that big. So it's like she was very loud and boisterous. So it's like, but we didn't have much in common because I was so much younger that they were past me. So I never had that. How brothers are so close to fight over toys, fight over clothes, fight over it. I didn't have that. Luckily, I didn't have that because they were so much older. I had the cool. What I had the problem was when I became a teenager, and people who knew my brother, who was the cool guy in the schoolyard and gave beer to underage people, I come around. I have no way I can compete with that. And they're like, your brother's cooler than you. It's like, well, fuck. I can't compete against that. And
thanks.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Even to this day, I'll get stuff like, your brother. I mean, yeah, I know he was cool. I get it. You never hung out with me. I didn't know how to make you like me. So.
Yeah. Me and my brother were pretty much inseparable. I mean, we were 2.5 years apart. So I mean, he's younger, but I mean, He-Man. I was way into He-Man, and he was way into He-Man. Ghostbusters. So was he. We always, and then Turtles. I mean, and about that time I was probably 10 years old. So he was, 7, 8 years old. And I mean, that's the perfect time to start playing with all those toys and everything. And yeah, we totally related, man. And we hung out with two brothers also. So they were always kind of, close and fighting with each other. And, all four of us, we were the Turtles, man.
See, it was different.
It was a lot of
different
fun.
for me since they were older. They were doing their own thing. And I lived on a boulevard. And I live if you know anything about how a boulevard works, if you people who are listening are living in a moat, I don't know how that works. But I live on a boulevard that connects the 59th Street Bridge, which takes you to Manhattan, through Queens, through Brooklyn, onto a BQE, which is the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Will take you to all Brooklyn, all Queens, to the various. So you could be heading. You can, if on my strip or my block, it can take you from Manhattan to the airports, to the Bronx, to Jersey, through my. So I couldn't go across the boulevard because you'll get killed. It's a massive boulevard,
right?
Massive traffic all the time. So you have a lot of traffic. So growing up, I didn't have the luxury of going to a school friend's house because if they weren't this side, it wasn't going to happen. If they were on that side. My mom was like, "You're not crossing the boulevard."
Right.
And then making a friend was someone a little bit older than me, and so we go to school, you had to play. So you had those elements. I had it. I had someone close to me, but he was 4 years older, so it was still close enough to me. So when I was into G.I. Joe and He-Man, I'd always make sure he would play with me, and then every other weekend I go to his house and take back my toys that he stole from me because he steal all my toys. It would be without a doubt. Half my G.I. Joe collection just be on his dresser. He'd be like, "Yeah, I took him." I'd have to go and take him. Rambo 3 came out, and the Rambo cartoon show was out. So Rambo 2 and Rambo 3 came out. They made when Rambo 3 came out. He had that exploding arrow thing, right? They actually made that as a toy. You could have that in the 80s. You could have a toy that had a big.
Yes.
It was soft rubber, my ass. It could shoot halfway down a block. It was like a compound bow toy, and it had you could shoot it, right? So it came with the Rambo had that stupid green emerald necklace within his house.
Oh yeah.
He took 2 of my He-Man figures, and there was the necklace. So I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You took my Rambo necklace?"
Jeez.
But that was just what he did. Didn't even ask to borrow. He just said, "Fuck it, put in his pocket, take it." So
I'm just gonna take it.
When we got into the Turtles, I learned to stop allowing him to play with my toys. It got to a point all right, we're gonna hang out and go for skateboards or whatever. You're not getting the toys. And when I got to Turtles, it was that was the last line of toys for me that was I actually got the whole collection of because now I was already pushing going to be a teenager. So by 94, I was 16. So you can imagine by when the Turtles came out, 87, 88. That's fine. By 89, 90, now you're kind of pushing 91. Now you're pushing buying all the Turtles. I had the blimp. I had the Turtle blimp. I remember the Turtle blimp drove my father crazy because he used to smoke. So trying to blow up. Yeah. All right, give me a minute.
Oh.
it was and what I loved, I always make comparisons with the Turtle line and other toy lines prior because they took the best parts of everything that you had from before. Black Star had a blimp for the Trobbits.
Did they?
Yes, and it reminded me so much of the exact same style of blimp because the blimp what's the blimp going to look like? It's going to be a blimp shape.
Exactly.
Logic,
right.
But it was cool because not many toys had a blimp you can own. I don't think even G.I. Joe didn't have a blimp. They had the parachute guys, but they never had a blimp.
Right.
The Turtles had a blimp, and the Trobbits, the Black Star had a blimp, and you could see the elements that use the Playmates. Probably, I guarantee you, Playmates was in meetings going through other toy lines, saying, "Okay, well, this will work and this work." Remember, the pizza shooter, that vehicle, right? If you painted it a different color and put rocks on it, it would be a He-Man toy. It would. The pizza shooter would be a He-Man, so let's not even lie about it. It's completely what that was, And the party wagon, all I could think about when I thought about the party wagon was A-Team. Every element, they took the best elements. A-Team had the coolest ass bad. Who would drive a van and think that's cool unless you're a pedophile?
Right.
I remember I was a kid you see a van, and it has a little circular window in the back. Do not go near it because you might be in someone's house in the basement at some point in time, chained up. I don't know what's going to happen, but we don't want to think about it. Don't go there. I've seen The Hills Have Eyes.
Nope.
I've seen Spin Your Grave. I watched all the great horror movies back in the day, so I know what can happen to me. And I grew up with glasses since I was a kid, and I know John Hughes ruined my life because of that. So I was prepared.
No.
I was prepared for all that stuff. So, but the Turtles van was like, that was like the creme de la creme toy. I don't know why the Turtles van, the party wagon, was the vehicle. I can't explain why that, to me, was one of the best. They had so many vehicles, but
they did too.
That one to me was just the best. I don't. For you, what would be one of the best like vintage vehicles?
I loved the mutant module.
Yeah.
That the drill
yes,
and like
yes.
I mean just the color, it had all the guns and just so cool. that was like the one I played with every single time. It was like, oh wait, we have to have a reason to get the mutant module in here,
we don't need logic. It's toys. This is
right.
going to happen.
Exactly.
My Turtles. I had the Muppet Baby toys that came from like McDonald's Happy Meals, and they were with the Turtles. They were with the Turtles. They were mutated babies. They were in with the Turtles. That was just how it was.
That's
you just
awesome.
Made them fit. They were. I think
that's great.
The vehicles. I think. The toys, the figures themselves, especially let's just concentrate on the vintage line alone, had solid, fun figures, and they did make action features that don't bother you so much. I hate action features as a collector because as you get older, that's one of the things the mechanisms will break. Let's not even.
Yes.
I mean, you look at a toy line and you find anything as an action feature, it's gonna break. Black Star, after they made the second line of toys, they started putting flints so you could actually flick on the back and they would spark. So all the Black Stars would have these spark in their chest. Well, what happens when that's dead?
Yeah.
Like from a Master Universe fan, they'll know because of Sorod. Sorod from the he had the flicker. It would spark out of his
ear. Mine still works. I can still get some sparks.
His helmet wants to come off his head, but the sparks still work. Yep. But sometimes they don't happen. Or if you run out, or like with the caps, you run out of caps, and they would make caps that weren't universal caps. They were ones that made just for that toy. They were the paper one or the clip like a revolver clip. If you don't have that, now your toy is now officially useless because now you don't have the caps.
Yep.
And that always drove me crazy for any toy line. I don't like action features. I don't like quick draw actions. I think because now you're losing a use of the arm because now you can't have him do this because you have to push the button.
Right, and a lot of like the variants and stuff when they started to get into the basically for turtle. I mean anything sports turtles, Olympics turtle, whatever. And there's I don't know which one it is, but I have a Leonardo and like his head you can push. It's supposed to push down and stick there. And then, like, I guess maybe he gets hit or something and it pops up.
Isn't that based on? Isn't that
popped up?
Isn't that based because in the movie the turtles ducked so they would like that came after that, right?
They had those which were the head dropping turtles, and those all still work where the heads actually go inside the body. But this one, he was more of a
spring loaded.
It was like a wrestler, and it was spring loaded or something like. And his head just
so he's a stone cold
constantly standing up.
His neck is just stuck.
It's just it's terrible. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some of them are going to be okay, and some
I don't. What I felt like with Playmates, they did action features that were beneficial, let's say, to the figure, like Mutagen Man, or Mutagen Man had the big like casing, like that you just put water in, like you could put anything on it. That really. The only flaw with that later on in life is that clear plastic toys tend to crack. Other than that, it was not an action feature. It's an action feature, but it's not. It doesn't inhibit the toy in any way. And I do like that.
Right.
I do like that. I hated the turtles that you would wind them up and they would like flip, do like kung fu action. That was.
Yeah, those were lame. and I have some of them, but I mean, they weren't very.
No, that was.
They started kind of.
You did just like, well, what can we milk you for now? Like, I don't mind like what they did.
That's basically it.
Universal Studio.
I think it was desperation.
Universal Studio Turtles. I don't mind. That's cool. I don't like the choices that like they made. Like, who decides that who gets to be Dracula? Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
who made that rule? Who gets to be Dracula? Who gets to be the mummy? No one wants to be the mummy. It's like, yeah. But I don't mind that, and I love in the new show, the new toy line, that they try to incorporate that, but not too much. Like my thing was when they first did like the when they dressed up as like they're in the woods and
like the LARPing turtles.
I love the fact they use the term LARPing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They said just call them cosplaying turtles, they made them LARPing turtles. But that homages to what they were doing back in the 80s, where they were like, all right, we make the turtles, but we have to make them different, so we'll do like you said, the sports turtles. They had my favorite is still like the turtles that dressed up as the samurais because of the movie. In the third movie.
Yeah, those were pretty cool. Definitely.
Crap on the third movie, and I still love it more than I love the second movie. My thing is that I loved it because I love the fact that they got to time travel and we got to see all this crazy stuff, and then your first terminology of learning about like the oni and kappas and stuff like that from Japanese,
right? Yeah,
which makes perfect sense because the turtle demons are very popular, very famous in Japanese culture.
Right?
Why wouldn't you want them to be in feudal Japan? I don't mind the time travel. I mean, it was kind of weird to see it in the live action before you saw it, like with the cartoon show, like when you had the neutrinos and I don't mind.
Right.
I didn't mind it because they didn't go too crazy with it. They tried to put logic with it. I think my favorite logic is the fact that to go, someone else in the past has to be holding on to it. That was it, like science. Right. It's like, okay, but it's the past. How is the past holding on to something at the same time you know that they're dead? Like, there's no line.
Right, this doesn't exist, right? That already happened.
But I still think that was funny because I just love Casey Jones just sitting there like three or four naked, like three like naked like samurai soldiers, like what the hell? I love Casey Jones with a hockey stick. Like, I'm still gonna kick your ass. You do know that, right? I just love that. I love the movie for that. I thought the soundtrack was still pretty solid for the Turtles, and I just thought that it was a simple story, and you did learn a lot of actual history, which was really cool in the Turtles film that they actually went that way. Did it have to be a theatrical release? Probably not. Probably could have been like a straight-to-video kind of thing, but screw it. It was still cool. I don't hate it, and I don't know why people would like the Ninja Rap more than they would like actually learning stuff. Like, that bothers me. But I am an idiot for Japan, though, so that might be my fault.
And that could be too. I come kind of from the other side where, I mean, obviously the first movie was so good, and it's still, I mean, they're pretty sweet. I mean, they were following the comics. They threw in some elements of the cartoon, and they made it just amazing. Second movie obviously was a little more towards kids. They got flack for that. So. They were using sausages and yo-yos and even Judith Hogue was like, well, I don't really want to come back as April.
No, did she hold that for more money? And they're like, we're not going to pay you more money. Like, you're not the lead. Yeah, she's like, I want more money. Something. This is like Terrence Stamp with Iron Man. Well, you have to replace me easily. We'll get a Academy Award actor to replace you who wanted to do the role.
Yeah, right. But when that. And Vanilla Ice was pretty cheesy, but it is what it is. But when that third movie came out, I think everybody was kind of like, okay, especially kids, we're ready for Bebop and Rocksteady. We're ready for Krang. We're ready. It's true. And I think maybe it was just kind of put out after its time. It was kind of winding down, and the copy, I mean, and not like feudal Japan stuff, but like the actual turtle costumes were really bad. I mean, they look just like they are very close to that coming out of our shells costumes. Just those when they were the rock stars.
Like, I'm not even too sure. Jim Henson, did Henson's Creature Shop still do the third movie at that time? I'm not too sure. No, right? That's why.
No.
That was the budget.
Yeah, and they just. I mean, they had like Wayne's World joke. They had a
because it was topical.
In it.
I mean, that's the problem. Like, the Turtles cartoon show has a lot of references that are topical at that time, and that's the problem. Anything you look at, if it exists in a real world, is going to be. You're going to know if it's dated, but what they say. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Not everything transcends 100%. If you look at the French Connection, New York City, 1972, there's stuff being said in that movie that would never fly now. It just can't happen because it was made for that time. It's a great movie,
Right.
but it was made for that time. The Turtles, as they went through the first Turtles movie, did everything. Like you just watching the movie, I was rewatching. I watched a documentary on the Turtles. I got the history of the Turtles, that DVD they released like a couple months ago. Watching now,
Yep.
I couldn't first believe
Yep.
if you guys haven't seen that DVD, get it. It's really cheap to buy, and
Definitely.
the footage of
get
them,
it.
like
Oh,
when they
it's
filmed,
amazing.
they kept these for them. They actually filmed when they were working on the book before they became famous. They actually filmed that stuff. Like who thought of that stuff? Like the only
Right.
time I ever knew anything close to that was that Will Eisner would do interviews with famous comic book creators on when cassette tapes were first coming out. He said, "This is great," and he interviewed
Right.
all the greats before they died. And he has hundreds and hundreds of hours of every comic book artist who's dead. By 1985, these guys were dropping dead, and he interviewed them. So the only knowledge of voices we have, he actually recorded that because he said, "You know what? I want this. Even if I don't do nothing with it, I want to have it." So I think when the Turtles were doing their thing, they were doing that. Like you get to see at the early stages of Mirage Studios, so that when the meetings with playmates and what they want, you can see the prototypes in their hand in the video.
I know. And that's crazy because that was back when, damn near everybody has a cell phone now and a video camera on it and all that stuff. And back then, you had to be like, wait a second, I need to grab my camera and
it was a conscious decision
at the time. And I'm really glad that they did because I've heard they have, many more hours worth of material, but what we got was pretty darn good. So it'd be nice to see if they could, maybe someday release like a second half.
Because
or like
they stopped at one point. I would
DVD
love to see like
it'd be
from
cool.
where they stopped till now. There's so much to cover. They really didn't cover.
Yep.
Because they made this documentary. It was basically right before Michael Bay's movie was done. So that's what they stopped.
Yep.
I would love to see them do a whole thing just on the Nickelodeon Turtles to see what they can do. It was really well done documentary. But it was cool to see like when you watch this, they had so much from the first Turtles movie. They had so much, and then there's no release that we have that has this stuff. You might find one like DVD out there that have like the alternate name, that little when they had the meeting for the comic book,
Close enough, right?
You remember when I showed the pictures last night on Facebook with the pictures from Japan with the turtle T-shirt and the cups. I posted some pictures. They were from Odaiba, which is Odaiba is like a small little like man-made island that's off Tokyo Bay. Basically, what's there is the giant 1-to-1 scale Gundam, malls like you wouldn't believe, like all retro video games. And so we're there, and we walk into the store, and they have coins, like they have the gashapon machines with all the new turtle toys, like little keychain size TMNT Nickelodeons and gashapon machines. And I was like throwing, and they're not quarters, by the way, they're dollars. They're dollars, so like $2 or $3. I'm like, and she's like turning it. I'm filming it. We're getting. She's like, "Ooh, turtles!" And she's grabbing it. We got like the shredder one like this. And while I was out there, Pixel Dan, I was posting pictures. I took a picture of the packaging for the new turtles from Japan, which is like the coolest looking packaging you ever want to see. And it's clamshell. You can actually open it and put the toy back in.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
like that,
you gotta love that.
I love the fact, and the packaging's so great because it's in Japanese, but also you can see it's the Turtles. It's the Nickelodeon Turtles. It's the same figure you have here. It's no different, but the packaging just makes it like perfect. And the fact that it has a clamshell resealable packaging, I was like, I want all the Turtles like this because you can take them out and put it back in the packaging. And so Pixel Dan was like, "Can you get me one?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, why the hell not?" And I went back to the store and I bought the last one. I went to the Toys R Us on a dime. I was like, "Holy crap, I bought the last one." I was like, "Oh, it's mine. Screw him." So then I met this guy called the Suiden. He's a big turtle guy. And
sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so he was like, I said, "Look, I need to find these turtle toys." I said, "I can't tell Pixel Dan that I couldn't get it for him." And he was like, "Did you try this store?" I was like, "Where the hell is that?" And I was like, "I've been to Japan 3 times in my life, and I've never heard of this store." And I was looking at old footage. I walked right past the store, never went into it. So then he texted me. I went to it, and sure enough, they had like 20 of it. Like I think he wanted Raphael or something like that, and they had 20 of them on the shelf. I was like, "Ooh, look at this!" Ooh, the store killed more bags from that store. I was like, "Oh my god!" Promote, pimp anything you do, pimp the Twitter or whatever you do.
Wait,
I'm
are you
here.
there?
I'm trying to wrap this up.
It just cut out on me again. You're frozen.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? At all? Whatsoever? No? How about now? Yes? No? How about now? No? Let me just move around for a little bit to see if I don't glitch up the phone. All right, let's try to wrap this up.
Awesome. I had fun.
Okay, I appreciate you coming on. Promote the page, promote your Twitter account so people can find you.
Let's see. What can we promote, huh?
We haven't talked about this whole episode, but
I'm gonna hang on. You're so cutting out on me. I want to get the ending here, man. I think you said something about promoting something, so I'm.
Yes.
There. Are you
keep
there?
nodding just like this.
Oh, I can't tell.
Okay,
wait.
So I just purposely glitch. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to promote something. You ready? TMNT lives forever. Come join the group.
Do you have a Twitter you want to give out to people, or you don't want to do that?
Booyakasha, baby.
Alternative Minds, Alt Minds on Twitter. Instagram is Alternative Minds. Go alternativeminds.com. We have lots of content. So I want to thank Jeremy. I want to end this now so it doesn't get too glitchy. Jeremy's not telling me he can't hear crap. So thank you guys so much, Jeremy. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
This is so terrible.
It's all right. And until next time.